Welcome back to Ace Attorney Anime Review episode number 22. This one I'm reviewing the 44th episode of the anime, Bridge to Turnabout, 4th Trial. Yep. This one picks up right where last week's episode left off with them going to Karakura Temple and of course doing more investigating of this particular case. So, they discover in this episode that the cane that, well, at least carried out, which is real, and she's revealed this episode to be Misty Faye, the mother of the sisters Mia and Maya Faye, and the aunt to Pearl. Yep, it's revealed in this episode. Oh yeah, and the cane she carries apparently carries a big, huge sword, and I'm like, wow, that's just old 19th century stuff because from what I've heard about these particular type of canes, is that gentlemen canes generally sometimes carry swords in them. It's not that uncommon for that to do that. But for a walking stick like this to carry a cane, carry a sword in it, and apparently this sword had blood on it, is like, yeah, but what about the fingerprints on this damn thing? Wouldn't, I don't know, Miles' fingerprints be on the damn thing? Yeah, maybe he'd basically be eliminated because he's a prosecutor. Yep. And of course, Francesca von Karma is in the episode, and she only appears for about 2 scenes. She appears briefly when she escorts Iris to the Dusky Bridge, and then next time we see her, she's whipping Dick Gumshoe for allowing Iris to run away. Yep. Oh yeah, she's also seen in the temple itself. After that, she's not seen after that. She just disappears in the episode. No explaining reason for this at all. Of course, they also reveal about the whole thing about Iris in this episode being Dahlia Hawthorne's twin sister, reference to previous arcs. And of course, they reference the whole thing. Of course, Phoenix does ask Iris about Dahlia, and did Dahlia ever talk about a guy she met in college? She says, yeah, she hated his guts. Yep, talking about himself. Yep. Oh yeah, and apparently when they go to the temple, because in last week's episode there was only one lock in this temple, and now there's like a good 5 locks. Where the heck these locks came from, completely unknown. Yeah, it's never explained in the episode how the heck these locks just multiply and just make it 4 more. It's never explained in the episode, and of course, Iris has to take time to basically unlock all these damn locks. Yep. And one thing that's quite interesting in this episode is that Godot is nowhere to be seen in this episode. Yes, that's something quite weird about him. He no-shows this whole episode. He appears in last week's episode. This week, nope, he doesn't show up at all. Nope. Of course, they also find the amulet that Misty had from the start of this thing. And they also reveal that Pearl is the one who actually made curry on this scroll. Yep, and apparently it looked like possibly that Pearl's spirit was gone, but I don't think so. From the way she described it, it's just that the person she's trying to channel is not there. She's simply just not available. So I think she still has her powers, but yeah, it's quite interesting though. Though, I don't know why that Phoenix doesn't point out though about, I mean, yes, Pearl is a little girl. I mean, she's supposedly 12, though she could be 15 at this point. Could be. But are her legs getting cold? I mean, yeah. I get the fact, yeah, she's a little kid. At least Maya, basically. Well, Maya technically didn't wear any, like, first special coats. At least Francesca bothered to put on a coat and pants. Why doesn't Pearl? Yeah, this doesn't make any sense at all. Oh yeah, and who reveals the whole thing about Iris being Dahlia's twin sister, and of course the backstory of the Fae clan? Why, Sister Bikini. Yep, she reveals everything. Good exposition scene. Yeah, she's basically sort of asked this by Phoenix himself because he's a little curious about this, and she explains it really well. One thing I appreciate though about this whole thing is well, there's not some unnecessary flashback in the middle of the episode explaining the backstory. It just basically just has some exposition over like the temple, and that's really it for that. Yep. I like the fact that in the past 2 episodes, Phoenix actually takes a part in the episode, unlike at pretty much, I think it was with part 2, where he was absent the whole episode due to him being in bed. Yeah, he's actually mostly better this episode, even though last week he was still kind of ill. Yep, and looks like next week we're gonna go back to the trial. Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what Miles and Francesca are up to? Unknown. What are they going to be up to after this arc? Because this particular arc is adaptation of the last case of the third video game. Unknown if they're going to basically adapt the fourth game of the series. Yeah, it's completely unknown if they are. But if I were the show itself, I would start adapting the manga. Yes, I would definitely the mangas. There's a lot of good stories there. So, yep, I would definitely adapt that. I would do that for season. Because, well, from what I looked online, apparently this season is not going to have 24 episodes, but 23. I'm like, that's weird. Why would you have 1 episode less than last season? I mean, I highly doubt that the series is going to end after season 2. No, there's still more story to. I'm sure that the people who make the show, Cloverworks, behind the fact they don't change studios, probably does want to adapt games 4 through 6. It's a possibility. But here's kind of the weird thing. Now, apparently, it's kind of revealed that since the second case of the first game, it's been 3 years. It's like barely acknowledged the fact that there's been maybe it's been like a year between the games. Yeah, it's a possibility. I would think it'd be 2 years, but maybe 3. Yeah, it's never really explained exactly about the time skip here. I mean, Phoenix himself does look like he's visibly aged. Same thing with Maya and, well, Pearl. Pearl, if she's supposed to be like, if it's been like a good, like, I'd say about 2. Of course, at the end of the episode, Morgan shows up. Her and her big hair. Like, why is her hair unnecessarily so big? Yep. Oh, yeah, and this whole thing, this whole plot of this arc, is all her doing. And Dahlia's. Yep, but more reveal about that in the next week's episode. Now, this arc has roughly 3 episodes left, like the Malign, and this is roughly the last arc of the season. Unknown if there's going to be season 3, I hope there is, and I kind of think that Cloverworks should continue basically making this series. One thing I did notice though between the animation for this particular season and the previous season, I mean, the style didn't change, just the studio did. Yep. So, good episode. Now, I was thinking of doing my review of One Punch Man next, but not much time for that. So, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I'm going to talk about this new episode. Now, starting next week into the final episode of Season 2 of One Punch Man, it reviewed on Tuesdays. The only reason why I'm reviewing it on Thursday instead of on Tuesday, time. That's the only reason why. So, yeah. See you next review. Bye.